Hello. Here is how we figure out fractions of an inch. So we're going to start with this type of thing. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight lines. We're going to label this 0 for 0 and 1 for 1. But this could be between 2 and 3 inches, between 5 and 6 inches, as long as it's 1 inch between them. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to approximately divide this in half. And notice how the line I make doesn't go all the way up to the top. I'll show you the reason for that after. Right now we have 2 spaces, so this would be half. I'm going to label all the base fractions in black. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to cut both of those spaces in half again. Now this is just the idea here. These don't all have to be perfectly spaced like clearly you can see they're not perfect yet. Now, at this stage of the game, you look at this, and there's 4 spaces. So it's going to be 1 out of 4. This would be 2 out of 4, but it's already labeled half, so just leave it. 3 out of 4. Okay, the next thing, we're going to cut all those in half. Okay, so now there's 8 spaces, twice as many as before. So we got 1 over 8, 3/8, 5/8, 7/8. Okay, I'm going to label all the 16ths on the bottom so we can actually see and read this. So we're going to cut all these in half. What I like about this is we kind of just set up what the pattern's going to be when we did the 8s. It was 1, 3, 5, 7. Well, same idea when we do the 16ths. It's going to be 1/16, 3/16, 5/16, 7/16, 9/16, 11/16, 13/16, and 15/16. So if you can count by 2s from starting at 1, you can get all your 16ths in there. Now the other thing I wanted to label on here is just some equivalent fractions you should know. Okay, so it goes 1/16, 3/16, so in the middle should be 2/16. So instead of calling that 1/8, you could also think of it, not that it's proper, but you could think of it as 2/16. You could think of 1/4 as 4/16. You could think of 3/8 as 6/16. Notice that you just double the 3 and the 8, you get 6/16. Half is 8/16. 5/8 is 10/16. 3/4 is 12/16. And 7/8 is 14/16.